Shota, Rustaveli. The Knight in the Panther's Skin. King Rostevan and Avtandil go hunting. At daybreak, Avtandil rode forth, clad in crimson, like a flower. His face was crystal, his mouth a ruby, even at that hour. Sheathed in chain mail, he sat on his white horse, like a golden tower. He invited the king to come forth, and test his skill and power.
The king was arrayed and mounted. They left for the hunt right away. The soldiers surrounded the field, as if it were a siege they lay. There was much mirth and excitement. Armies kept the people at bay. People were waging their own bets. Everyone had something to say.
The king ordered his 12 servants, "Come with us, go the way we go. Prepare quivers of arrows, and bring each of us a springy bow. Where each animal is struck, and every arrow falls, you should know." He finished, and huge herds began arriving in a steady flow.
There came running uncountable herds. Herds of every kind of game. There were deer and goats, antelopes. High-leaping gazelles even came. The lord and the vassal pursued them. What fairer sight could one name? Behold the bow and arrow, the tireless arm, lifted in aim.
The dust that flew from their horses' hooves cut off the rays of the sun. Arrows sped. They slowed. Blood soaked into the field before they were done. As the shafts were lost in shooting, slaves brought more until there were none. After being wounded by them, beasts staggered, unable to run.
Driving the herds of game before them, over blood-soaked ground they sped. They slew and slaughtered, angering God, by their fierce ambition led. The fields turned crimson with animal blood. Their faces were streaked red. He is like a poplar from Eden, those who watched Avtandil said.
Over the whole of that untraveled plain, they chased stampeding prey, until they both came to its farthest edge, where stream and thick woods lay. The game fled into this forest, where horses could not make their way. Both Rostevan and Avtandil were tired, by the end of the day.
Each laughingly said to the other, "You have to admit I won." Merry were they. Hither and thither, they frolicked and had their fun. Then came the slaves, who'd followed them, from the start until they were done.
The king said, "Who was the better? Be truthful. I don't want lies spun." The slaves said, "We'll speak plainly. We won't try to deceive you, forsooth. You are a great hunter, O king, but a little long in the tooth. Slay us at once, if you will. We speak nothing but the honest truth." All the beasts he shot fell in their tracks. You were bested by this youth.
The two of you, in the course of the hunt, have killed 100 score. As many as you have killed today. Avtandil killed 20 more. Every animal Avtandil aimed at, lies dead or at death's door. But, picking your arrows out of the dirt, was a usual chore.
The king heard the words blithely, like the clicking of dice in a game. He was glad, the man he loved like a son, had won that day some fame. He loved Avtandil as the nightingale loys the rose, without blame. All grief was gone from his heart. Smiling, he made merry without shame.
They both sat down to cool themselves at the foot of towering trees. Soldiers assembled, countless as chaff. They were surrounded by these. Nearest were the 12 brave slaves who'd won favor not trying to please. The two rested, gazing at the stream and leaves that moved in the breeze.